Sonic the Hedgehog, with his extraordinary speed and quality of graphics, catapulted him into a gaming icon. The Sonic franchise is vast, with over 70 million games sold worldwide, bringing a huge number of games to its loyal fanbase and introducing a variety of characters, including Miles Tails Prower, Knuckles, Dr. Eggman, Amy Rose, and many more. And the franchise is set to grow even more as this year sees Sonic return with his latest video game installment, Sonic Generations. In the late 1980s, Nintendo was the leader in both hardware and game sales, thanks largely to their Super Mario games and their NES games platform.
I'd had conversations with Mr. Nakayama, the CEO of the company, about what needed to be done for Sega to compete in the United States marketplace. Nintendo completely dominated the industry. They had a share of market that was above 90%. Third-party game developers were all beholden to Nintendo. I mean, they owed Nintendo their livelihood. So it was very difficult to break into the marketplace back in that time period.
Sega, despite recently launching the more powerful Genesis, still needed a stunning new game to really show what the system could do and attempt to readdress the balance. They made the decision that before this game, they would need a new mascot other than the current Alex Kidd, so a new character had to be developed.
For some time, the management of Sega was aware that to compete with Nintendo, one of the things that would be necessary was their own strong character to compete with Mario.
Sega really wanted to create its Sega's Mickey Mouse, Sega's Mario.
The view at that time was you needed a mascot, typically a platformer, that brought to life what the, if you will, the irreverence of your brand.
So the company started to ask all employees to come up with ideas.
One person who heard this rallying call was Naoto Oshima.
純粋にゲームの企画を最初作ったんですけど、なかなか上司とうまく理解してもらえなくて、でそこに中さんがちょうどプロジェクトが終わって、で中さんに相談して、なんか一緒にゲーム作ってもらえませんかってお願いしたところ、快く中さんがじゃあ一緒にやろうよって中さんといろいろ相談しながら生まれたのがソニックになります。
With Oshima developing potential character ideas, Yuji Naka, a young, talented Sega programmer who had already worked on several games, was tasked with not only programming the game that would feature this new character, but devising a game that could demonstrate the true power of the Genesis.
そうですね、僕自身が速いものが好きだったっていうのもあるんですけれども、やはりゲームが上手くなったら早くクリアをしていくところができる方がいいんじゃないかっていうのが、その当時のゲームはですね、バックアップとかがなくてですね、セーブができないので、毎回ゲームを始めると一番最初から始めるんですね。今のゲームだと途中から始めることができるんですけど、昔は必ず一番最初から始まっていったので、そうすると一番最初のステージっていうのはもう何度もやってくるんです。そうすると上手くなってくると、このステージはもっともっと早くクリアできた方が嬉しいんじゃないかっていうのが発想の一番大きな元になって、そのためにソニックは速くなっていったんですね。なのでそれで速いスピードの中でクリアしていくっていう、そこがマリオとかと大きな違いになるんじゃないかと思って作り上げました。
Meanwhile, in response to Sega's call for ideas and concepts for a new character and game, a board meeting was arranged. Naoto Oshima, Yuji Naka, along with all the other competing teams, had to separately present their ideas in the knowledge that only one team's proposal would be chosen.
でその社内プレゼンの時に、うちのチームだけが、ゲームもあって、ぬいぐるみもあって、いろんなグッズをプレゼンで発表したんですね。で、そういうこともあって、会社がバックアップして、この ゲームをちゃんとなんか力を入れて作ろうということで、その当時の中ではすごい期間も通常よりも長くもらえていいゲームを作れということで作れたというのがスタートになると思います。
やはりソニックでの大きな違いっていうと今までそれまではマリオとかもそうなんですがブロック単位でゲームのマップが構成されているところをですね滑らかなこういう風な形をすごく高速で駆け抜けるっていうところが大きなチャレンジだと思います。でここは滑らかに動けるっていうところがある程度目処がついたので滑らかにできるなら回れるんじゃないかということを思ってですね僕自身が。でそこでこういうループみたいなところのプログラムを作り上げてきて、ですけどこれを作ったはいいんですけどもものすごいここ高速でいくとですねループ回らずに突っ込んでいったりとかですねすごくここをきれいに回すのに苦労した覚えはあります。
ソニックというキャラクターの絵をいろんな方に見てもらうとソニックはすごく子供のキャラクターでなんかすごく可愛いキャラクターだというふうに思われたので、でも私が思ってたソニックはもっと大人をイメージしてたの。
With the Sonic the Hedgehog character reaching the final design stage, SEGA of Japan felt they had the new mascot and game they were hoping for. The character and concept art was sent to SEGA of America, who felt that Sonic needed some adjustments to make him more suitable for the Western market.
I was asked to redesign Sonic from his backstory to his character so that he could actually work in terms of advertising and merchandising, the comic book series, and on TV.
The Sonic team in Japan really hated SEGA of America's redesign of Sonic.
In the meeting, they absolutely did not come around. I mean, they created a beautiful character, and they didn't feel that we had any right to change that character, which is quite understandable. But we were on a mission, and we were going to make Sonic happen in all the right ways possible. We really believed in the redesign of the character, and he needed to be the face of SEGA worldwide. After the meeting, however, they really assessed the strength of the game, the strength of the platform, and they determined that the Sega Genesis and Sonic was actually going to be more successful in America and in Europe versus in Japan. And so because of that, they decided that we needed to make the calls required to make this character successful.
SEGA of America marketing made it a little, in a way, edgier and in a way a little more comical, humorous, and softened it.
With the character and game design really taking shape for North American audiences, along with the original Sonic Team design for the rest of the world, SEGA felt the project needed an equally impressive soundtrack. To achieve this, they brought in composer and co-founding member of Japanese pop sensation Dreams Come True, Masato Nakamura.
I didn't treat Sonic as a game, but a film, because a graphic is great and it has a very strong story. So I thought, oh, this is a movie, film. So I wanted to create a movie music or film music.
However, with the game still very much in early development, only static screenshots were available for Nakamura to use for his inspiration.
So Sonic staff explained to me, it's going to be like this, it's going to be like this. And I started, writing songs, but I will never know because that was totally new for me. So it was really tough job for me.